Westmont Village Board meeting for January 22nd. I will ask our clerk for a roll, please.
Okay, Mayor Nero.
Here.
Clerk Simsky, here. Trustee Barker.
Here.
Trustee Guzzo.
Here.
Trustee Little.
Here.
Trustee Pirelli.
Here.
Trustee Plowman.
Here.
Trustee Scales.
Here.
Attorney Zemanek.
Here.
Village Manager Gunther.
Here.
And Assistant Village Manager Barker.
All right, if everybody would please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, I don't think we have any requests for open forum, so we will get right into reports, and mine is first. I'm sure everybody's looking at these beautiful pieces of art that we put together. And as most of you know, the Westmont's first Vision and Vibe Festival was held last September at the Veterans Memorial Park. It was a big hit. Great event that featured visual artists, theater performances, dance, music, and more. One of the cool projects was this. All the families got to come and paint a small canvas that would then be combined to create a bigger three-piece collage, which you're looking at. We're still trying to figure out a home for it. It's going to be here in Village Hall for a little bit, and then we're going to move it around town. And we'll announce that, but I do want to just acknowledge Trustee Barker and Trustee Plowman. I know they both were very, very involved in this event. It was a huge success. Also, a special thank you to Jenny Babiar, who was the project manager for this festival. And thanks to everybody that was involved and volunteered. There was a lot of folks there. Planning has already kicked off. I think we decided to do this event, maybe 2 months before it happened or so. It was pretty quick, but we pulled it off, and these are just super cool. And if anybody in the audience can find the one that my wife and I did, you get a special prize today. But no other hints other than that. And I do want to just make a comment. Last week we had the ribbon cutting for the new Advocate facility on Ogden Avenue, across the street from Standard Market. Beautiful inside if you haven't seen it. Heck of a facility. Trustee Plowman and I were both there, as well as our state rep and a couple county board folks. It just was well-attended event, and very happy to see the Advocate team, including the president of Advocate, committing to getting involved in the community. I don't know, Trustee Plowman, how many times did he say that there that night? At least a half a dozen on healthcare is local. And so I think it's fair to say we're going to see the Advocate folks at a lot of our events and giving back to our community. Let's see, a couple other things. We got Restaurant Week coming up. The Westmont Chamber is going to be hosting Restaurant Week, which will run from February 21st to March 1st. And Pet Palooza, Pet of the Week contest. Wow, I butchered that. We'll try that again next time. Louis was a hit, was the big hit this time and featured Pet of the Week. But everybody's got to check it out because it's a new Westmont special event, Pets Palooza event. The entire community is invited to go to our website and sign up for their pet to be to win the weekly contest award. All this effort is to help promote new Pet Palooza. I got it after the third time, which will be at the Veterans Memorial Park on May 16th. Details are on our village website, so please check it out. And that is all I have, so I will pass it on to our clerk.
Thank you, Mayor. Village offices will be closed on February 16th, and garbage pickup will not be affected by that. Also, there are Citizen of the Year nominations. Please visit the Chamber website to nominate citizens to be considered for the annual Citizen of the Year award. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. Trustee Johanna Guzzo.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Our next Fire Public Safety Committee meeting is scheduled for March 5th, 4:30 here at Village Hall. Everyone is invited to attend. Our fire department is also hosting CPR classes. There is more information on the village website, so please check that out, and how to sign up. Cold weather tips and warming sessions. As everyone knows, we've got a pretty good cold snap coming in. Visit our village website for the information regarding how to protect your home, your family, including those four-legged pets that we send outside for the upcoming severe weather. Warming center information is also posted on the village website, so everyone just be safe during this upcoming cold snap, and that's all I have.
Thank you. Trustee Matt Scales.
Thank you, Mayor. Community Development Committee update. We met tonight, or this afternoon at 4:30, which I'll provide a recap on. The next meeting dates for CDC are April 16th, July 9th, and September 17th. And the Planning and zoning meeting, they recently added a special meeting to be held on February 4th at 6 p.m. with the regular meeting following on its regular date at February 11th. And in terms of updates from tonight's CDC meeting, Adam Walsh, planner for the village, provided an update on the RFP process for the comprehensive plan update. Submission deadlines are due tomorrow for that RFP, with the contract award expected by April 2nd, and the full plan adoption looking towards spring of 2028. Planner Scott Williams also provided an update on the downtown rezoning updates that they're working through, which includes 3 new designations or classifications: the core, the edge, and the residential, which is similar but will provide for some slight nuances, which they will be notifying residences and property owners within 250 feet of those properties to be rezoned, with local signage as well, and then an online landing page that will direct residents and property owners to be educated on that process. In terms of next steps, for those rezoning processes, they will also include Q1 or Q2 of this year with a public hearing, and they'll do that in 2 phases because there is quite a bit of changes happening. They'll handle 2 of the zoning designations in one of those public hearings, and then the last one in the second public hearing. Staff also presented a lot coverage text amendment summary that is intended to address and kind of accommodate local resident requests that they typically encounter, especially during the summer months, for patios, driveways, etc. And it will also help to address single-family home developer hurdles that they face here when it comes to lot coverage and considering new development. Staff also gave a summary of reports for 2025. They did institute an online permit process that they are actually going to reevaluate, but they did see a 42% engagement rate on that over 2025. And they're also working to fill the building commissioner slash, I believe it's a new classification name for that, but code enforcement manager, which they've got some candidates in line. The downtown improvement plan awards, they had 2 awards in the last quarter, and over the course of 2025, they awarded $142,000 to business owners and property owners. That was out of a $250,000 budget, which was great. And in terms of planning and zoning, they heard 19 cases in 2025. 10 variances were approved. Half of those were for lot coverages, which I think is timely for the lot coverage alterations that they're looking to make. They also have brought up some new projects that are in concept review, which includes 1 North Cass, a handful of townhome projects, a car condo project over off of Pasquinelli, and then the Dooley surgery expansion project. I think one highlight from the update was that the new zoning code changes that were made last year, which was quite an undertaking, really has already started to show its effectiveness. The staff noted that they were able to kind of work more efficiently with developers and folks coming in for permits and projects, and allow them to work expeditiously without having to bring every request in front of the Planning and Zoning Board, including Village Board. And that is it.
Thank you, sir. Lots of good action. Trustee Gina Perilli.
Thank you, Mayor. For Public Works Committee, the next meeting will be March 19th, 4:30. Here, everyone's welcome. Just a reminder for water rate updates. The recently approved annual water rate adjustment went into effect this month. Check the website for more details, and that the updated rates will be reflected on the upcoming billing cycle. And also, like everyone mentioned, the cold weather reminders. We're supposed to get extremely cold weather for the next several days, so please prepare in advance and review the village website for any additional information on that. And that's all I have.
Thank you very much. Trustee Bob Plowman.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. The Police Public Safety Committee meeting, the next one is February 5th. Metra update. So everyone is aware with the severe weather that's coming this weekend, Metra has announced reduced rail service during this time frame. Visit the village website for more info. And to go off your, about the outpatient center, I can't believe the amount of ribbon cuttings that we're seeing. We're getting like 2 a month or what have you. We've the Diva Dance Studio also opened up I think it was yesterday that we had the soap and candle shop open up. It's nice to see retail downtown start opening up with Mr. Wayne. So I think it's really exciting time to see us start filling in some of these holes that we've seen so long in the village. And also for those surprise snowstorms that we've had, thank you for Public Works for getting out there and getting our streets clean, keeping everybody safe. And that's all I have.
Thank you. Trustee Linda Little.
Thank you, Mayor. The next Administration Finance Committee meeting will be held February the 19th, right here in Village Hall at 4:30. Everyone's invited to attend. The Park District Winter Beer Fest. Westmont Park District will host its annual Winter Beer Fest on Saturday, February 14th. So take your Valentine out there. 2 to 6 p.m. at Tidewater Park in Westmont, and your tickets can be purchased through the Park District website. That's all I have, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you. Trustee Bruce Barker.
Thank you, Mayor. The Environmental Improvement Committee will meet on February 2nd. And just to add to the mayor's comments about Vision and Vibe, it was a great event, but we've set the date for that. It's Saturday and Sunday, September 12th and 13th. And I also just want to say a shout out to the Park District for the cooperation and assistance with that beautiful venue. So mark it on your calendar, no excuses. We'll see everybody there. Holiday Lights Recycling, there are bins at the South Fire Station and Library for holiday lights still through January 31st. So if you have anything, get it over there so it can be recycled. Christmas trees are still being picked up by Flood Brothers until January 30th. So if you have your tree still, which is hard to believe, but if you have it, you can get rid of it. Take the decorations, the tinsel, and the lights off, and they'll pick that up. And then where the Environmental Improvement Committee is also talking about salt use and being environmentally responsible with that. Residents and businesses are encouraged to use salt responsibly for their home and businesses. Only 12 ounces is needed to cover 250 square foot driveway or about 10 sidewalk squares. And the reason for that is all the salt that's put on the ground that is taken away by melted snow and things ends up in the streams and the riverbeds, and it stays there. It does not go away. So we point that out every year at this time. So just be aware of that. Better stewards to our earth, right? And then we have a Dark Sky Grant Program. The details are out for the 2026 Dark Sky Grant Program, and that is available on the website. More information, and you can sign up there as well. That is all, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, moving right on. 6, any items to be removed from the consent agenda? Hearing none, I will ask Manager Gunther to run us through the consent agenda, please.
Thank you, Mayor. Tonight on the consent agenda, we have Finance Ordinance Number 1 and Number 2. Finance Ordinance Number 1 is in the amount of $1,218,344.89. Finance Ordinance Number 2 is in the amount of $4,696,423.38. Total for Finance Ordinance 1 and 2 is $5,914,768.27. We have lots of purchase orders, so I will give the abridged version of these. Purchase order number 1, Patson for $108,250. This is for a 2027 chassis for one of our dump trucks in Public Works. Item number 2, InfoSend, $35,000 even. This is for utility billing on an annual basis. Number 3, Atlas Bobcat in the amount of $51,925.25. This is to replace a 2011 Bobcat skid steer. Next is Suburban Labs for $30,000 even. This is for water testing through our water department. Allied Garage Door, $37,049.06. This is to replace 3 bay doors on Fire Station 2 at 500 North Cass. Next is Curry Motors, in the amount of $56,396. This is for a 2025 Chevy Tahoe for a battalion chief vehicle. Next is Imperial Service Systems, $61,600. This is for cleaning services provided to Village Hall, Public Works, and the train depot. Next is Curry Motors, $63,050. This is for a 2023 Ford Super Duty F-250, and I believe this is a fire department vehicle, if I'm not mistaken. Next is Mead Incorporated, $140,000. This is for the 2026 streetlight maintenance throughout the village, which is another open purchase order. Next is Al Warren Oil Company, in the amount of $250,000. This is a bulk fuel purchase for 2026. Next is Westmont Park District, $50,000. This is for a digital sign that we spoke about at the last meeting. That concludes all the purchase orders. That total amount is $883,270.31. So with that total of the purchase orders, adding it to finance ordinance number 1 and number 2, our grand total is $6,798,038.58. Next item, E, is the Lions Club 90th Anniversary Proclamation. Board to consider a proclamation honoring the 90th anniversary of the Westmont Lions Club, and with Lions Club members at the dais and in the audience, I would be honored to read that at the conclusion of the vote of the consent agenda. And then finally, item F, reduce the number of available Class 4 liquor licenses, or to consider an ordinance reducing the number of available Class 2 liquor licenses, should be Class 4 license, by 1 due to the closure and sale of Shri Bistro, 655 North Cass Avenue, Westmont, Illinois. That concludes the consent agenda. Appreciate a vote.
Thank you, sir. Do I have a motion to approve?
Motion to approve, Little?
Second, Plowman.
Before we vote, do we want, since I know there's some folks here from different social clubs that wanted to speak in behalf of this proclamation, I know we haven't read it yet, but just before we vote, if anybody wants to say a few things in support or anything like that, I just wanted to make that offer out there. I'm getting nervous now? All right. All right, roll call, please.
Trustee Little?
Yes.
Trustee Plowman?
Yes.
Trustee Barker?
Yes.
Trustee Guzzo?
Yes.
Trustee Pirelli?
Yes.
Trustee Scales?
Yes.
Motion passes. Great. Manager Gunther, please. Let's hear this, baby. We got a big party Saturday, so let's hear it.
That's the rumor on the street. Whereas Westmont Incorporation was officially passed, decided by a vote of 41 to 28 in the month of November in the year 1921, and whereas Westmont Lions Club was established just 15 years later, being the oldest service club in Westmont, and whereas Westmont Lions Club is true to the work helping people to see and hear, giving eye exams, eyeglasses, and hearing aids, and whereas Westmont Lions Club recognizes and awards Westmont students annually in both 5th grade and 12th grade, and whereas Westmont Lions Club annual fundraiser in the spring kicks off the event season in town, and whereas Westmont Lions Club members participate in every Westmont event and are some of the best volunteers in town of great volunteers. And now, therefore, I, Steve T. Nero, by virtue of the authority vested in me as mayor of the village of Westmont, do hereby announce and proclaim to all citizens and set seal hereto, declare that January 24th, 2026 is Westmont Lions Club Day in the village of Westmont, celebrating 90 years of service to our community. Passed and approved by the mayor and board of trustees of the village of Westmont on this day, January 22nd, 2026.
I feel like we should clap, but should we do maybe a group picture for it? Hold it up, Bob? You want to do something like that?
Yeah,
Is that
I'll
cool? We get
make,
everybody come on in?
Carla.
Yeah, that means everybody, come on, let's go.
we're doing that again?
Holy cow.
I guess so. It was good for a picture, right?
Come on, Spencer. You guys know the drill by now. Thank you, sir. One step back. I need this second. Here we go. We got it. Thank you. All right.
Congratulations.
Thank you all for acknowledging us, and we are the lions for the town. And don't forget that on Friday, the 13th in April,
Rick?
we're having a. Come to the podium, Rick, so everybody can hear you. Come on over
I
here.
hear you on the speaker.
Stand up. Don't forget to come. It's at the Columbus. You can have dinner, liquid libation, and a chance to win $5,000. So we'll see you all on that Friday. All right, thank you. Okay, moving right on down to unfinished business. Item A, special use permit request, tobacco and vape retail store, 101 West Ogden Avenue, Suite B. I will ask Director Hennerfine to come on up. And let me just read through one. Board to consider an ordinance approving a zoning ordinance special use permit to JARE Enterprises LLC, DBA Lit Smokes. They're the applicant tenant for the property at 101 West Ogden Avenue, Suite B in Westmont for a tobacco and vape retail store in the B2 General Business District. Director Hennerfine.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you, Board. So this is the third time this has come before us. First time was a negative recommendation or a negative vote. A reconsideration was brought forth at the last meeting. And then it was a mixed vote, and we were missing a trustee, so we went ahead and continued that to tonight. So if I miss anything, just let me know. I'll probably be brief because we've heard this before. So this is 101 West Ogden Avenue, used to be the Boston Market for many years, was improved and subdivided by space, and a cannabis retailer took one side. This is a business that is also from the same group for a tobacco and vape retail store that requires a special use. This space always did have a drive-through. One of the things that we worked through in the first discussion was the use of the drive-through was a little bit not well received. Under the second proposal, they did offer to close that drive-through window and not sell anything out of it. That is still part of what's considered tonight. But the request that's before us is for that special use itself. I can answer any questions if you'd like me to go further than that. I do have the petitioners here tonight if you would like to ask them that for questions.
I have a quick question, Director Henderfine, just on the drive-through. If it's closed and becomes inoperable, do they lose the special use permit? And then if they do, the second part of that question is, if it needs to be reutilized, do they have to come back in for a special use to get it?
Yes. So what it is when even though the building is specially built for a drive-through, the reason we always bring drive-throughs in for special use is a new user might not use it the same way as the last user. So especially when these are so close to residential, we worry about a new user that's open late nights or something, and so then it's disruptive. So that's why we always make drive-through special uses expire. So there's a time period that it expires. It will expire if they're not using it, but it means that they will just have to come through planning and zoning if they decide to move a use in there that does wish to utilize it, and they will come through just like any other drive-through would have to that's been closed for a period of time to basically say, what's the business? How are they using the drive-through? How impactful is it on the neighborhood? Does it bring in a lot of traffic? So obviously, if they were trying to put a Portillo's in there, it would be a terrible amount of traffic. You know, if it was a small mom and pop shop, probably not a lot of traffic. That's why we look at that on a case-by-case basis.
Thank you.
Joe, just a question. On the notes, it does say it's being retained but used only for non-tobacco sales, but you're saying that it is, that we've agreed that it's closed?
Yes, so what it is we just basically cut and pasted the same information since it's been to 3 meetings now. But the last time they had it before us, they had agreed that if that was one of the hang-ups, they will take the drive-through out of use. We're not asking that they physically alter the building, because it's very expensive to take out that window, and then very expensive to reinsert it if they ever get a use in there that wants to use it. So basically, they won't use the drive-through lane, there won't be an order board, there won't be, the window itself cannot be opened to service customers.
And the ordinance does prohibit the use of the drive-through window for the sales of any products, whether they're tobacco vape products or non-tobacco vape products.
Thank you.
And if I remember right, there's a cover that goes inside too. I think the petitioner mentioned that it gets locked.
There's shutters.
Shutters.
Yes.
Any other questions for Joe from the board? Comments? And I'll entertain a motion to approve.
Motion to approve, Little?
Second Guzzo.
Any other comments, questions?
A couple of discussion points, if I might. So when I looked back at some of the information that was presented, I looked mostly at the criteria points for the special use permit and kind of honed in on criteria number 2 and number 3. Number 2 being, and I'll paraphrase a little bit here, but is the facility in the interest of public convenience and will it contribute to the general welfare of the neighborhood or the community? And then number 3 is, will it not, in the particular case, be detrimental to the health or safety or general welfare of the persons residing or working in the vicinity? And for those 2 criteria points that I look at, that's why I've consistently been a no on this particular case. I do appreciate the petitioner's consistency and persistence in coming back in and that they're here in the community, but those were the 2 reasons that I focused on primarily. I also realized that it's just beyond that threshold of being, I think it's 1,000 feet from a school. I think this works out to roughly 1,004 feet, so just beyond that threshold slightly. Those were the reasons and rationale that I voted and will continue to be a no vote on this particular one. Thank you.
Sir. Any other comments? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Trustee Little?
Yes.
Trustee Guzzo?
Yes.
Trustee Barker?
Yeah, I'm voting as Bruce Barker trustee, and I'm voting yes.
Trustee Pirelli?
I'm voting no. I think just for what Matt had said, just the betterment of the community and how close it is to a school. So I will always be a no.
Trustee Plowman?
I'm going to vote yes.
Trustee Scales?
No.
Okay,
Passes 4-2.
motion passes. Then we'll move on to number 2, correct, sir?
Right.
Okay, board to consider an ordinance increasing the number of available Class B tobacco licenses by 1 for JARE Enterprises LLC DBA Lit Smokes.
Evening, Mayor and Village Board. Same item for lit tobacco as comes before you for a tobacco license. Again, you just increase the licenses by 1 to allow the tobacco commissioner the authority to issue a license should he choose to do so. I have met with the owner and doing my background check on both the owner and the business itself with other communities. I could find nothing that would prevent the board or the tobacco commissioner from issuing this license. Not to beat a dead horse, but the issue of selling out the window was also brought up, and the owner of the business said he does not plan on selling any tobacco nor any vape out that window. It obviously has changed completely. And what we will do is we will include a section in his license, an addendum to the license indicating that he cannot sell any tobacco or vape. And if the liquor or tobacco commissioner wants, there'll be any items out that window, which would be consistent with what was talked about before.
Thank you, sir. Do I have a motion to approve?
Motion to approve Guzzo?
Second, Little?
Any questions, comments? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Trustee Guzzo?
Yes.
Trustee Little?
Yes.
Trustee Barker?
Yes.
Trustee Pirelli?
Wait, I'm sorry, can I just ask a question on this one? Or am I allowed to?
Sure.
So is this the same property? Or, so,
Same business. Let's won't, yeah, it's right next to the dispensary.
So the first item was for a special use request, which is a zoning approval. That passed. This request is, they've asked for a tobacco license, which the village requires for the sale of tobacco products. And the village caps the number of available tobacco licenses, just like it does with liquor licenses, and it requires a vote of the board to increase that cap by 1 so that a license is available for the applicant's use.
Okay, so liquor license is the same as a tobacco license?
They operate in similar fashions, but they have different regulations.
Okay, because it says liquor license, I was confused.
Yeah.
But, I mean, just because I voted no on the last one, I'm just voting no. So.
Trustee Plowman?
Yes.
Trustee Scales?
No.
Motion passes. Okay. Moving right on to new business A, increase in Class 2 liquor licenses by 1. Board to consider an ordinance increasing the number of available Class 2 liquor licenses by 1 for Belly Deli LLC at 655 North Cass Avenue in Westmont. Back to our Deputy Liquor Commissioner Mulhern.
And I'll put my liquor hat on. I forget to do that. Belly Deli is a restaurant located in Strip Mall just north of Jewel, Osco at 4 East Ogden. It replaces Shri, S-H-R-I, which we just previously reduced the licenses for. Shri sold the business to Belly Deli. The owners of Belly Deli are 2 ladies, and the gentleman is the manager. I asked them to be here tonight, but seeing no one, I'll present it for them. They want to continue on the restaurant. It's a Middle Eastern type restaurant menu. They wish to continue that only to make it better. The only problem that they've had, well, my background review did not, on all 3, the manager and the 2 owners, did not reveal anything that would prevent them from being issued a license should the Liquor Commissioner choose to do so. The only other fly in the ointment is that they had a fire approximately 2 to 3 weeks ago. It was rather extensive. It was from the stove or kitchen area, got up into the ceiling, took the fire department over an hour to put the fire out. So there is extensive damage. I spoke to the owner or general manager on Friday. He said they are planning on reopening. They are remodeling inside. They think it'll probably be 1 to 2 months before they're ready to open again, and they want to move forward. So they're looking for the liquor license so that they can offer the liquor for their customers. Again, no violations by either the owners, the manager, or the company itself in the North Chicago area or the Northern Illinois area.
Thank you, sir. Do I have a motion to approve?
Motion to approve, Barker.
Second Plowman?
Any questions or comments? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Trustee Barker?
Yes.
Trustee Plowman?
Yes.
Trustee Guzzo?
Yes.
Trustee Little?
Yes.
Trustee Pirelli?
Yes.
Trustee Scales?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Have a good night.
Thank you, sir. All right, moving on. B, bond issuance authorization for the Village of Westmont. Board to consider an ordinance authorizing the issuance of general obligation bonds, alternate revenue source of the Village of Westmont in DuPage County in an aggregate principal amount not to exceed $35 million. And I will ask Director Altek to walk us through this, please.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Board. So we've talked about this in parts over the last several months. This is the first major step towards this bond authorization to primarily go towards the new fire station later on this spring and summer. So I want to turn over to the next page in the presentation. So this is the purpose for this bond sale, this $35 million that I've outlined here today. So $27 million roughly for the fire station, another $4 million for water system improvements, another potentially $3 million for other infrastructure improvements. And there's this, I'm gonna call it a rounding, as recommended by our bond advisor, Raymond James, another $1 million. So I've been talking about $34 million for the last several months, and you're seeing a $35 million number today. And that was at the advice of Raymond James, our bond advisor, just to provide flexibility, because when the dust settles and we got to issue the bonds, we can't issue, if you authorize 35, we can't say issue 36. You can always go less, but you can't go more without kind of restarting. So just to provide some flexibility, they recommended 35, so that's why you see that difference today. And we can still dial it in the number here in a couple months in March, which I'll get to here in a little bit. So how are we paying for this $34 or $35 million in bonds? Our primary sources of funding to pay for this is from the village's additional 0.5% non-home rule sales tax passed by the board in March of 2025. And and that is expected to generate a little more than $2.4 million here in 2026. And for the water system portion, that's being paid for from water system rate revenue. There are some secondary sources that we could pull from to pay for these bonds if need to, and those are state shared sales taxes, which right now generate $14 million. And property taxes is also part of this equation too, although I don't expect we'll have to do that. And I wrote the word abatement here on the slides. The intent of this is the village will abate this every year, just like we abated property taxes in December for those other bonds. We'll add this to the list and abate this every December. Last thing I just want to go over is kind of a timetable or a bond schedule. So tonight is the ordinance establishing the intent to issue the bonds. Just letting the world know, letting everyone know that we want to do this, and it's the village's intent to move forward. And this will set up or allow the public an opportunity to potentially speak out against this if someone were to so choose. Moving into next week, we'll have a publication in the local newspaper, the Suburban Life, so just letting the board know of that. And this will kick off an important thing, kick off a 30-day petition period ending at the end of February. Will allow the public the opportunity to write in a petition to not be in favor of this bond deal. And if we get so many of those petition forms, it's in the ordinance, I think it's 1,187, it's almost 1,200 as calculated by our bond attorney, Miller Canfield. It would need to go to vote in November of 2026 by the taxpayers. It would need to go actually on to vote. So after we get out of that time period, February 19th is the next Admin Finance Committee meeting. We'll talk about more about this bond deal. We can start to dial in exactly how much we're going to actually issue. And then, once again, February 19th, that will be the date of our public hearing. So during the board meeting, we'll actually hold a public hearing. And once again, the public can come and discuss what issues they have with the bond deal. March 5th, the next major milestone, the board will adopt the parameters ordinance, dialing in the exact amount that we're going to borrow in some of those parameters. March 9th, Finance and Administration will meet with S&P, our credit rating agency, to go over our credit rating. And then we'll actually issue the bonds sometime around the end of April, maybe early May at the latest. So that's the bond schedule, that's the timetable. If there's any questions, I can answer those now about this potential bond deal.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
I have a motion to approve.
Motion to approve, Little?
Second, Scales.
Any last minute questions or comments? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Trustee Little?
Yes.
Trustee Scales?
Yes.
Trustee Barker?
Yes.
Trustee Guzzo?
Yes.
Trustee Pirelli?
Yes.
Trustee Plotman?
Yes.
Motion passes, okay. Any items for miscellaneous? Hearing none, I do have to ask for a request for executive session for for one item, for setting the price for the sale of the property owned by the village pursuant to Section 2C6 of the Open Meetings Act. So if I could have a motion to adjourn for that reason, that would be great.
Motion to adjourn for executive session for reasons stated.
Second, Scales.
Roll call, please.
Trustee Barker?
Yes.
Trustee Scales?
Yes.
Trustee Guzzo?
Yes.
Trustee Little?
Yes.
Trustee Pirelli?
Yes.
Trustee Plotman?
Yes.
Okay, this meeting is adjourned. Executive session, there'll be no
I'm sorry. I think you said for the sale of real estate?
setting the price for the sale of property owned by the village.
Yeah,
That's
we're
what's
gonna do
highlighted.
the one above that.
Okay, so we're gonna just strike all that, and we're gonna actually request a motion for number 4. Apologize here, we got a couple typos. The purchase of real estate for the use of village pursuant to Section 2C5 of the Opens Meetings Act. We might have to do number 5, but not yet. All right, do I have a motion for that reason instead?
Motion to approve as stated
Second,
during
Scales.
the executive session.
Second, Scales.
Roll call, please.
Trustee Barker?
Yes.
Trustee Scales?
Yes.
Trustee Guzzo?
Yes.
Trustee Little?
Yes.
Trustee Pirelli?
All right.
Trustee Plowman?
Yes.
Well, it goes to show, I usually know what I'm reading, but you guys, you got me there. All right, this meeting is adjourned. There'll be no further business after our executive session. Have a great night.